What's up, guys? Welcome back to the shop. We're in here with the IROC again. Gonna go ahead and redo the front suspension on this car. So last episode with this car, we did the fuel pump, and we went ahead and we greased up the polyurethane bushings that were in the lower control arms and the panhard rod, and we went ahead and we put some new shocks and some fresh lowering springs on it. So this episode we're going to focus on the front suspension, and then I really want to go ahead and drive this thing. At this point I've just taken it kind of up to the end of the street and back because I needed to turn it around and get it all situated in the garage here. So just a quick little run up the road. So it's 22 degrees in the shop this morning, and it fired right up perfectly. It sat there and idled, had no issues whatsoever. It came up to temperature like I thought it should. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get dirty. Too bad. I was able to get all that knocked out pretty quick. Got the control arm off. I was kind of hoping, because the back had the polyurethane bushings, I was kind of hoping that this was going to have poly bushings up here, but no such luck. So I can't tell if these are the factory bushings or not, but they definitely are cracked and checked pretty good, and they're pretty hard. So we're gonna go ahead and knock those out. I've got some fresh ones, and the ball joint's pretty crunchy. So I'm gonna go ahead and, doesn't have a lot of play in it, but it's very crunchy. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a fresh one of those in as well. So we're gonna use, geez, what's this thing called? The, pneumatic hammer. That's what this is. Sorry. To knock the control arm bushings out, and I've got a ball joint press for doing the ball joint, so we can get into it. All right. Okay, so what you might have seen me doing there, or noticed what I was doing there, was I was actually kind of unsqueezing the arm. You got to be real careful when you're doing these, because you can absolutely squish this part of the arm completely together as you're trying to drive the old stuff out of the new stuff in. So it's kind of a dance where, you know, like, I mean, I've got a press. I don't know if you can see it behind me or not, but trying to stick this thing in the press typically doesn't work out that well. There's not a whole lot of clearance for everything to be, and then on top of that, you will absolutely just squish this all to pieces. So like I said, it's kind of a dance, getting in there and being able to kind of unbend as you're doing it and everything else, and so you'll figure it out. So let's go ahead and get this ball joint swapped out. control arms rebuilt. We can go ahead and start reassembly. Alright, so putting these back in is not too bad. Can be a little bit of a pain to get everything lined up. Just, you know, be willing to throw a little muscle at it, you'll be fine. Or get you an alignment punch, which I'm going to do right this second. All right. Okay, so I'm just snugging these bolts up right now. On a car with rubber controller and bushings, typically what you'll do is you'll put the thing to ride height and then final tighten all your fasteners, because the way that rubber bushings work is that they sit still. They're bonded to their their inner core and their outer shell or whatever. And then they stay put, they don't rotate. That's why we don't use them in race car stuff. Because in race car stuff, we want all this stuff to articulate nice and free. So, but on street car or daily driver type stuff like this, you want that to, it's only going to twist within a certain range. So if we tighten that down before sitting it at ride height, then we risk binding it, and that won't be good either. So, all right, we got our new strut mount all lined up back where I had the original. Alright, it's not lined up. It's moving all over the place actually. But I'm going to line it up before I tighten the nuts down. So there. And that will get us close enough to get us to an alignment shop. So that's really all I'm looking for here. I mean, yeah, we can dial it in even better than this, but for now, really all I want to do is make sure that it can drive without, completely destroying the tires. Oh, sorry, can't see nothing. Okay, so as you can see, that these springs have about the same free height. Free height meaning the amount of, or how tall it is in an unsprung state. So, but as you might be able to notice, there's a lot more coils on the new UMI spring than there is on the factory one. In the factory one, you can see where we actually had cut this probably 2 coils worth, based on kind of how low it was and everything else. So one thing that I will note, the UMI has a flat coil, and this goes up. All right, so I went ahead and I've already got this one done. So basically, this is the spring isolator that comes factory, and they tend to flop all over the place when you're getting them installed. So I went ahead and just took a quick little bit of electrical tape and threw it on there to keep it from falling off while I'm getting this in. So make sure when you put these in, these index into the spring pocket. So there's a little index right there. If that pigtail doesn't sit quite right, then it's not going to sit well. It's going to keep the car hung up. The ride height won't be right. That's what I was trying to get out. Okay, I got a bigger crowbar. Well, I would say we probably got all that we could out of the brake pads. Of course, I didn't get brake pads, so there's that. All right, well, we got that side all back together, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then I will catch up with you guys when it's time to get the steering stuff in. Okay, so I went ahead and got the steering linkage off the car. This really, I mean, these tie rods, they come apart pretty easy. Just more or less smack them with a hammer and they come right out. So, so reinstalling this stuff really isn't bad. It's mostly just, you know, I mean, this stuff is just nuts and bolts more or less. So, but a couple of things that I wanted to go over with you real fast. First off, when you have inner and outer tie rod ends, they are opposite threaded, as in like one is right hand thread and one is left hand thread. On a 3rd gen, to make it to where you can grease the inner tie rod ends, they have the Zerk fitting on the end here, because if it was on the back cap, well, that would be up against the K-member. So they have them kind of on the end here, and that's the easiest way to tell the difference between an inner tie rod end and an outer tie rod end. So an outer tie rod end has the Zerk fitting on the bottom like you normally see. So, so grab an inner and an outer, grab a tie rod adjuster, and then what I do is I just lay the stuff up together. Yep, one's left-hand thread, so the inner tie rod is left-hand threaded. Get them about evenly threaded in, and then you can just spin spin the adjuster, and it will tighten up both sides together. And yeah, so, and then just kind of eyeball it about the same length as the existing stuff, and this will be good enough to be able to get you to the alignment shop. Now, if you wanted to do a string, you know, an at-home string alignment, and do toe and stuff like that, obviously you can do that. That is perfectly okay. Oh man, got old grease all over my brand new piece of parts. But in general, this is really sufficient in terms of getting you to the alignment shop. Because you know, average Joe is not going to do their own alignment, and I perfectly understand that. We'll probably get it pretty close here. You know, I may actually bust out the strings at some point and put them on there, but yeah, we'll see. Right now, I just want to get the thing where it'll drive again. We can kind of go from there. So I'll go ahead and do the other side and get the stuff on the car. All right, well, we are back on the ground, and I gotta say, this thing looks a ton better already. So we'll get it out and get it around the block a few times so we can see if we can't get that the springs to settle a little more, which they may. But as it is, we raised the car up probably an inch and a half. So, but it's got a pretty nice even wheel gap front and back. And now I don't feel like we're gonna smash the front bumper on everything. So, but, this is looking really good. So this is a really good day in the shop. So let's go ahead and get this thing out on the road. Let's take it for a ride. All right, we're gonna go for a quick little ride, see how she does.
Where are we going?
We're gonna go up there.
No, I gotta run away. Daddy's too cold in here.
Well, the gears definitely make noise. I'm guessing that at some point I'm gonna have to crack this thing open and take a look at it. The car is driving fairly straight, which is not too bad considering we just replaced all those steering parts and it's not been to the alignment shop yet. Got a little bit of a right-hand pull. Not too terrible. Everything inside the car seems like it's loose, either missing hardware or loose. So there's quite a bit of rattles. I don't know if it's picking up on the camera or not. Got an exhaust tick or something. So there's definitely something going on there. Fun, James? Fast?
Motorcycle fast.
Motorcycle fast?
Yeah.
Oh. This one tire's pretty good. Didn't expect that. Pretty steady at 212 degrees. That's hotter than I like them to run, but that's really normal operating range. Overall, first impressions are pretty good. It seems like it's pretty solid. We've got a lot of good stuff to work on here. But yeah, stay tuned. We'll go into this car some more here in future episodes. But thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.